Hi guys, Andy here, and I'm here to bring you all things Monday makeup related. If that's your vibe, I'd love it if you would subscribe to be part of my little slice of the internet. And in today's video, I'm bringing you my March update for the Revolving Door Project Pan. So if you want to see the progress we made on the palette I was working on and the new palette we'll be bringing in, let's just get on into it. Hello guys, if you don't know anything about this project, I'm taking palettes that I have used in my collection and I'm randomizing them on a wheel spin to determine what palette I'm using, and I'm going to create two-ish looks depending on the palette, depending on how I feel about it. And then I'm just using a grading scale. This was adjusted from Beauty and Beyond. I will leave her linked in the description box, but it's based on cost, versatility, performance, and preference. Eventually, when I do this again, cost will not be what it is. It will be cost per use, which will be more effective. But, you know, I kind of got to get through my palettes first to determine how many times I'm using them before I can go based off that, because otherwise everything would be a 0. So we were working on the Lash Step Matte About You palette, which was this guy, all matte palette. I was very not excited to use it. But, you know, it happens. Did I know pan left behind it is the question. Because I can't remember if I did. I did 2 looks with it, but did I finish using it? Hello? I can't wait till I ordered new notebooks. Those are coming. They will already be here by the time you see this video, but I'm going to reorganize my palettes in alphabetical order, and I'm so excited. Where on the holiest of holy green earth, good Mylanta Lash Step Matte About You? No, I have 4 shades that I did not use. So those 4 shades are... I did not use these 2 browns, I did not use this brown, and I did not use this brown. Otherwise, I used every other shade of brown. I used the white, the black, and the gray. So, that is very nice. I mean, I guess I could have figured that out by going through the looks, but I digress. So, for my very first look, I used... Well, I'm gonna need to get out, because, so I have these labeled as, like, white, peachy brown, matte peachy brown, because they're not labeled by names, and I should have just labeled them by number, because that would have made more sense, because that's where they are. There we go. So, peachy brown is number 3. So this shade here, I used in the first look as a great lid setting shade. And then medium peachy brown. So 1, 2, 3. Medium peachy brown. That shade right there. It built it up in the crease nicely. It was a really nice shade. Then we have medium brown. That's the shade right next to it, right here. I wish it was a hair darker, and I do. For it being a medium brown, I just don't feel like it's a dark enough shade. Here, what can I use? I just don't feel like it's a dark enough shade. I wish it was just hair darker, but it is beautiful. And then the dark brown. This is dark brown. I used that. It was great for depth in the out of corner, and I mixed it with the medium brown. So, all shades were blendable and pigmented and looked gorgeous. That was the first look. I didn't write down what I used the palette with. So, because obviously I did not just use this palette by itself. I used it in conjunction with another palette. So for the second look, I used the white, which was sheer, but it was good for a lid setting shade. It helped blend out the other shades, and it helped lighten them as well. Then I used just the regular brown, which is this second shade here. It was a great lid shade, and it blended well. Then I used the gray brown. That's the gray. So The gray brown, it's dark and blendable, and I loved this shade. And the black is very dark. It is a little patchy, but overall it's great, and the mattes were splendid to work with. So, that is my little TED Talk about the palette. So yeah, overall, the mattes are blendable. They're buttery, they're smooth, they're workable. I enjoy them. The black and the white are good. So for cost, this palette, I believe, I have it down as a 3, and a 3 is between 20 and 30. I think this is a $25 palette. It's $25 or $28 retail. So for versatility, I have that it's a 3. It's pretty versatile, because though it's an all matte palette, I think we have some cool tones, we have some warm tones, you know, we have a black and a gray and a white. I think for being an all matte palette, this is pretty versatile. For performance, I put that there is a 3. It's good. Could it be better? Yes. The black could be not patchy. This brown could be a little darker. The white could have a little more pigment. But it's great. It's a great all matte palette. And then for preference, I also put a 3, which is close to my comfort zone, because I do not love an all matte palette, which is why it gets a 3. Is it a beautiful color story? Yes. Is it a beautiful formula? Yes. So it is all the other things that I like. I don't love an all matte color story, but this is one of the 3 all matte palettes in my collection. And it's here for a reason. It got a 12 out of 16. And honestly, eventually, once I'm done hitting pan, I want to see if I could declutter this Milani palette and just keep this one. But that is another story for another day. So we will absolutely be keeping this palette. So now you'll be seeing the roll on screen, because of course I already went ahead and rolled for the next palette we will be working with, which I will most likely be only doing one look from because it's a 9-pan palette, but we'll see. It is the Beauty Bakerie Breakfast in Bed palette, which I'm very excited that this is coming in, because it's a fun story with this palette. I decluttered this palette to a friend, and then this is one of 2 palettes that I decluttered that I felt just a yearning sadness of, oh my god, why did I do that? I'm such an idiot. I miss this palette so much, and I just couldn't stop thinking about this palette. Couldn't stop. So when I went back over to that friend's house, I was like, hey, have you played with that palette? And she's like, no, actually, I don't like the color story. And I was like, can I have it back? She's like, yeah, take it. So I took it back. Have I used it since then? Absolutely not. But I love it. I love this color story. And I don't know why. There's just something about it. So there's the first 3 shades. That middle shade is legitimately my skin tone. So that was Yawning, Forehead Kisses, and Pajamas. We have French Doors, Boo in a View, and Messy Hair. French Doors had a little bit of hard pan, but it looks perfectly fine. Like, there's something just so soft and subtle and sweet, but, like, nice about this palette. It gives me, I'll show you the palette it gives me the vibes of in 2 seconds. And then we have Fresh Face, Cuddle Cakes, and Lazy Baby. These just feel so buttery, silky smooth. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. Like, it just gives me deeper vibes of my Buxom Dolly's Wild Side palette, which, can I find that easily? Because I just reorganized. I can. So, like, it just gives, like, the more, like, nighttime version of this. So I might have to compare them. Excuse you. There's a hair. Goodness gracious. Because I really like how soft of a look this Buxom palette gives. So maybe I'll have to do a little comparison. But that is the swatches. The only one that feels like it has a little hard pan and like you can visibly see it is this French Doors shade. I mean, all the shimmers look like they have hard pan on them. And to be honest, this palette is old. This palette is very old. But they swatched very, very nicely. They were very soft. Like I said, I'll probably only create one look because it's a 9-pan. But who knows? I might end up doing 2, especially if I compare it to the Buxom palette. So we will just have to wait and see. But that is going to be the palette that's rolling in. We will be keeping the Lash Step palette. And that's going to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the March update. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.